Well, the new truck right now, or the used new truck, the one that I've been working on for the last couple months after my car got stolen. And I was at Walmart last night, and I thought to myself, well, they put a new radiator in it, they put a new water pump in the truck. Maybe they just forgot to recharge the AC. Scored to me, I recharged the AC, and now the AC in this truck is ice cold. So I hope you guys can hear me clearly right now. I'm trying to keep the window. I'm gonna go have myself a carnivore night at Golden Corral. They have steak, sausage. They got a lot of seafood and stuff tonight. So I'm taking off to Golden Corral. The phone's gonna be a little shaky, and we're gonna go from there. So the life update. How are you, Charlotte? The life update is, you see I'm coming down a residential street right now. I did go ahead and move into the small country cottage thing. I cut a deal with the lady. I told her that if she gave me a break on moving in, that I would fix all the things that were wrong with it. So what I ended up doing is I had to buy a dryer because I didn't have a dryer in the house. I didn't know what I was going to do. I've never used a gas dryer before. So I went out and bought a $45 gas dryer. I basically stole it. It was brand new. The lady, it wasn't brand new, it's old, but it's been kept in really, really good shape. I mean, no marks on it. Dries better than most of these new ones. I mean, 20, 30 minutes, and my load of laundry is completely dry. So I hooked that up in the house, and got the old washer that was in the house working. It wasn't working before, but I'm pretty handy. I got it working. What I ended up doing is I'm probably gonna have to pull over up here. How's the noise? Can you guys hear everything okay? The truck is really loud, so I just want to know if you can hear. I might have to pull over and talk to you while I'm pulled over. So washer, dryer, bed. The girl that I'm seeing, Angie, my girlfriend, she's a wonderful lady, and she has been by my side through all of this and not judged me at all through all my financial struggle that you guys have seen me go through all the ups and downs that you guys have seen me go through. She doesn't judge me. She doesn't hold anything against me. She tries to eat keto just like me now without me even asking her to do it. I'm carnivore maybe more. She does like to have some nights where we go have tacos or something like that, so I'll partake. I'll go with her and I'll have tacos with her. 2 weeks ago she wanted to make us margaritas at home and just stay home and have a few margaritas and relax. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna live my life. I think people have noticed by now that I've changed a lot. I'm still focused on the carnivore keto thing, but I live my life. If I want something, I go have it. I find that I was having more problems sticking to things when I would tell myself, you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't. And it was making it harder for me. By telling myself all the time, you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't, instead of saying, okay, you can if you control yourself, I was having a more difficult time doing it. I was starting to follow, paths of other people that were popping up in my channels and stuff like that. I was starting to follow the paths of other people, and I'm not the person that follows other people. I do my own thing. I lead my own path. I think I was born to be some kind of a leader in some kind of aspect. And I kind of backed off on that. I kind of pulled the reins back, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy my life. And if I want to have something, sometimes I'll do it. But I've been focusing on being pretty clean overall. I've lost no weight, but I have gained no weight either. I've noticed that my health is still fine. I don't really have any complications or issues or anything like that. So that's kind of the life update. The girlfriend's good. She's very supportive. I'm supportive of her. I've been booking a lot of hours at work lately, so my financial situation has gotten really, has come up quite a bit. I've been focusing on paying some little things off on my credit report, as well as, which there's not very much there, but it's little things that have been there for a while that have been picking it apart. The insurance company has paid off the car. It still shows there's some kind of balance on my credit report, yet the car, it says the account was closed. So I think it's just pending for the vehicle to drop off the credit report. And just from the little things that I've paid off and the amount that has decreased on my, my overall debt to income ratio in general, my credit score has increased over the last 30 days about 58 points. I appreciate that, Brennan. So 58 points is big in 30 days. I mean, my credit scores came up quite a bit. Now, I don't want to get too much into my life, what's going on. I've been focusing on the yard, getting all the stuff that you guys seen whenever I moved in there. It was, I mean, it looked like a forest. It looked like people just left the place and abandoned it. So my neighbor came over, and when I bought the dryer for the house, the lady said, look, we're moving to Kentucky. We're getting out of here. We hate living in Illinois. We don't really like any other state other than Kentucky. And we can go live there for the entire amount of what our rent is, so we're leaving. If you want to buy this little blower and weed eater we have, it's just battery operated, Black & Decker, 20 volt, nothing special. I think the combination was like $110, $120 at Home Depot on sale. She said, if you want to buy it, we've only had it like 6 months. $20, it's yours. So I bought the weed eater and the little blower and stuff. And I got the chopping and cutting and everything else. My landlord, or not my landlord, my neighbor seen me out there struggling, trying to get through all these weeds that were, knee high, belly button high, chest high. And he pushed a couple mowers over there and he said, hey, you're a mechanic. Do you want these mowers? And I said, well, yeah, no big deal. So the first one I worked on was a 4.5 horse Briggs Boland's mower. And they're super easy to get running because the carburetor is attached to the fuel tank. You just basically pull everything apart, spray it out, put it all back together, and then I made a Facebook video so I could show all my friends and family, if they ever have the same situation, how to go about doing it. Fired the thing up in one shot, and I just got the cut. So now it actually looks like a really nice place outside. I'm not embarrassed when I come home. The neighbors are super friendly. The kids are coming around and stuff. They want me to play basketball with them and things like that. So I've become like a neighborhood person to kind of look up to for the kids. They come by the house. They ask me if I want to play basketball. They ask me if I want to come over for dinner and stuff like that. The neighbor kid, I'm paying him $50 a week to come over and let the dog out twice a day so she doesn't have any complications. Her health, she's not been doing that great. Her hips have started bothering her again. I thought it was getting better. So now I schedule a vet appointment for tomorrow at 10:45. So I'm going to get her into the vet. I'm going to have her urinalysis done. I'm going to have her blood done. And I'm going to have her checked out basically to make sure that I'm going to see what the vet has to offer when it comes to her health and what turns up, basically. And then go from there. People have recommended doggy CBD oil and stuff like that, which I'm open to trying that for her arthritis pain in her hip. It's not super bad, but I don't want her to be uncomfortable. So that's my main focus right now, is getting her straight. The work has been great. Work, I couldn't ask for a better situation with work. I mean, I show up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I bust my butt until 5 o'clock. And sometimes 6, 7 o'clock, and I'm just constantly busy all the time. I mean, this place is like no other place I've worked at. They've got their act together. They're a dealership that runs off the principles of the service department should be busy enough to keep the whole dealership afloat. Car sales is iffy, but you always need somebody to work on your stuff. Unless you're handy like me and I don't take my stuff to nobody. But there's not that many people out there. You can't just walk down the street and find 10, out of 50 people, you might find 1 or 2 guys that could actually work on their vehicle, and then maybe 1 out of those 2 actually specialize in something. So I've got a career and I've got a job that is in very high demand, but I also work at a dealership that operates off the principle of the service department should be holding everything else afloat. A lot of dealerships don't have their service department together, and sales makes the bulk of the money, and it shouldn't be that way. You should be putting out enough repairs on people's vehicles and doing good, honest work to where your service department can keep everything afloat if your sales ever fall. Because the repairs are always going to be there. The sales are not. So that's how this dealership runs. I mean, they're very good. The parts department is on point. They're always asking, what do you need? Do you need work? I've got more jobs in here that got to get done. So make sure I go look at my box, and I've got two or three other jobs sitting on my toolbox on top of the one that I'm already working on. So they're always keeping me busy. I'm always able to book hours. I will not go hungry at this dealership. I mean, the first full week that I was there, I clocked 47 hours in a 38-hour week. I mean, it's just, or I booked 47, 48 hours on a 38-hour clock time. So that's good. I mean, I made almost 10 more hours than what I was actually at the dealership based on what people were quoted. So it's just a very, very, very good environment to be in. Everybody gets along for the most part. There is one guy that I have chose to just not communicate with because he's an asshole every single day. He's always grumpy. You're always going to have that in every place that you go, but you can control that. So I tell myself all the time whenever I run into a situation with him, breathe, breathe, breathe. Don't say nothing back. Let the guy go. Just forget about it. And it's been working for the most part. I'll kind of step back and I'll take a deep breath and I'll just say, okay, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I got a good job. It's not worth losing my job or knocking this guy's teeth out or whatever. So I just nod my head and I don't even say a word, honestly. If I haven't spoke to this guy probably a week now, just because I just don't like dealing with people that are just naturally assholes. They just naturally have a grumpy, bad outlook on life every single day. And they hate their job. They always got something bad to say. So I'm like, you know what? I just don't even want to talk to this guy. So I've just chosen not to talk to him. And it's okay. I'm okay with that, and he's okay with that. And I think he's realized now that I just don't want to have anything to do with him. But I'll still have a good work relationship with him where if he needs help or something like that, or, you know, he needs advice, I would give it to him. So that part's going good. I've still been active on the keto group, my own personal groups that I run. I've been active on that. I've been active on another group that's pretty popular called Fathead. I've been pretty active overall, but just not on YouTube too much because I wanted to get more done and then kind of surprise you guys with some of the progress and have something to look forward to. You know, be able to tell you guys something other than just one little thing. I wanted to tell you multiple things, which I think I have. You know, my bills are caught up. I'm doing better financially. I'm starting to get to the point where I could soon probably, you know, this week, next week, start putting money away. It just took some time. It took some time, dedication, hard work, grinding it out, letting people help me when I needed help, and just learning what a little bit of suck tastes like. Just learning what that sour, nasty, bottom of the barrel, little bit of life tasted like for a little bit, just to kind of pull myself back up afloat and put my head above the water and be able to start to breathe again. So, and that's where I'm at. And I'm just surprised that through all this, Angie has stayed right by my side. She's never left. She's never judged me. She's just always acted like the same person since day one. I really care about this girl a lot. And it's very shocking that I care about her like I do, because I don't think I've ever really cared about somebody as much as I care about her, as fast as I have learned to not let the walls be up so high. Take them down a little bit and make myself vulnerable to her and let her know my intentions and let her see what I have to offer, and just let her watch me grow and become a better person in the situation that I'm in, which I think she's seen that. So the craziness that's been going on lately is the fact that, man, everybody wants to create a keto group, and it's sad. I had a lady show up on my mother keto group, the group that I created first, and I noticed something was off right away because it looked like she had an agenda to push immediately. It looked like she had keto icons and memes and stuff all over her page, and I was thinking to myself almost immediately, I know what this is about. This girl's going to try to spam my group. She's going to try to get people to come from my group over to her group. She ain't going to read the rules. We don't mind if people do that, but say something first. Respect us enough to say, grab one of the admin and say, hey, I'd like to push my group on yours, and just offer some people additional help. But they don't do that. They abuse the situation, and she posted her stuff immediately, and it said the top 10 things to help you succeed with keto. Top 10 things to help you succeed with keto is what it said. And I started reading it, and it got to like number 2 or number 3. It says, when you eat breakfast, or it says something about eating 3 meals a day is important. When you eat breakfast, you should have a heavy protein-based breakfast. And I replied without reading the other 7 and said, this is by no means accurate at all. People are just as successful eating a high-fat breakfast as they are a high-protein breakfast. Now, I will agree that I do like a high-protein breakfast, but what you've posted here is not even factual. What you've posted here is your opinion, and what you've posted here doesn't even align with a lot of what keto do. There's a lot of intermittent fasting going on in the ketogenic carnivorous space because it's super impactful on the healing power and the results that you get from doing it. So by you putting that out immediately, I can see that, for one, you didn't read the rules of the group. Number 2, I don't know that you really care about, people's success in general. What I'm seeing is that you've created your own top 10 list of how to be successful with keto, and it's not accurate. So I went back and I read the 3rd one, and I said, her 3rd one about the variety of foods and stuff that you can have will make you, successful or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, actually, that's not even true either. The more variety of food that you put into your diet, the more susceptible you are to not being able to figure out exactly what's going on with yourself. The more variety you add in, the more you don't know what your triggers and stuff are. So you need to kind of pull back the reins a little bit and slowly add things in. That would make you successful. That would be a good top 10. That would be a good top 10 tip. But to say that right off the bat, having a variety is going to make you successful, that is nowhere near true. So, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be too critical, but I want to speak up. I don't want to hurt the girl's feelings, but at the same time, I don't really care if I hurt her feelings. So I can't figure out what I want to do, so I just went ahead and said it. I spoke about that point as well. As I'm reading through some more, it said, drink water all the time. Drink water all the time on keto. And I thought, what the hell? Where are you getting these recommendations from? Why did you create this junk list of how to be successful on keto? I would have worded that like, drink to your body's satiety or craving level. If you're thirsty, maybe take some salt and put it in your water and drink your salty water, or maybe try the salt first and then some water, and you might find that you actually don't want water. You're craving minerals, electrolytes. But drinking water all the time is what it said, is supposed to reduce your cravings. No, that is not true. Drinking water all the time is going to dilute your electrolytes, which is going to increase your cravings because your body is not getting nutrients that it needs. So wherever you got these recommendations, or whoever helped you create this list, obviously is either a newbie or they don't know very much about keto to begin with. And I just find the more I look, the more I search people's profiles, the more I see how they help other people, their intentions are there, but the knowledge base behind what keto is or how to help somebody, that part is not there. People just don't know, like, the real, not necessarily facts, but the real nice, helpful way to actually help people and put out good information. I find that there's a lot of new people that have only been doing this 6 months, a year and a half, and they want to have their own group, their own rules. They want to have their own space. They want to be known for something, and they just jump right into it, and they think that the information they're putting out, when they never really understood it the right way to begin with, is good information to give other people. Yeah, it could potentially help other people, but the information that you've gathered that you're putting out to other people is still not very accurate, still not very good information that most people, 90% of people with keto do not align with. They've already found that fault and that mistake in doing that, and found that drinking massive amounts of water all the time, as she said, does not help cure the cravings. It makes them worse. And then you're basically a gluttonous pig when it comes down to it, because you've drinking so much water, you've drank so much water, you've diluted your electrolytes so much, your body's now extremely starving for those electrolytes and those minerals, that nutrient base that you're not getting. So making sure that you've got some kind of mineral-based water, electrolyte type water around, to make sure that that is not the problem first before you start just indulging in massive amounts of water, is important. Electrolytes are substantially more important than water itself is. You'll die if you don't have electrolytes. I mean, that's just a fact. You can almost have no water at all and your body will still survive. Look at these people that drive fast. They live off of the mineral or the water source that's in the fat cells themselves for sometimes days on end, because you don't necessarily need the water right away. You need the electrolytes is what you need. So water is important, don't get me wrong. A lot of people like to take what I say sometimes and stretch it, and then I get into arguments with them and stuff like that. And it's the product of being online, because people think that they have something to argue about, or they want, and then when they go back and they look at what I said, they're like, oh yeah, well, anyway, what I said's still true. I have to clarify. I'm not saying water's not important. What I'm saying is electrolytes and minerals are substantially more important than water. If you look at NCBI, you look at medcare.gov or medwhatever.gov, you'll actually find that they've done ample studies on athletes. They've done it on people in general to see, is it the hydration aspect or is it the electrolyte mineral aspect that people that keep people where they need to be health-wise. And hand over fist every time it comes down to the amount of electrolytes that you have in your body. Hydration is important, but if your electrolytes are not there, your heart doesn't function properly, the way your nerves and stuff are firing doesn't muscle contraction and stuff doesn't happen properly. Your brain, your cognitive function and stuff's off. Your decision-making process and stuff in life in general is all off. These are the things that are so important in life in general, and people don't pay attention to that stuff because they're more focused on drinking these massive amounts of water, when that's not even the truth behind what's healthy for you. It's mainly the electrolytes and minerals that you need. So I touched on that, and I also brought up the fact that people need to find out what works for them. People have a general basis of how to do keto, but that doesn't mean that everybody needs to do keto that way. There are some groups on Facebook that specify you need to do keto our way or you will not be a part of this group. I don't get that, but that's just how they are. They make it known front that that's how they are, which they're disclosing that. You know, that's their right. Now, there's another situation that popped up where a girl wanted to argue with me about what is keto and what is ketosis per se. And I just brought up the simple fact that they're not the same thing. You can be in ketosis and not eat a good ketogenic diet. You can sorry, I thought somebody honked at me. You can be in ketosis and not be in a good ketogenic diet, or you could even show ketones and not be carb restricting at all. There's a number of reasons why you could be producing ketones and not be focused on keto numbers. And I told her, I said, look, she responded to a post that I put up when I was explaining there's a difference between ketosis and following a ketogenic diet. being in a ketotic state and following a good, clean level of making progress on keto. And she said, no, they're not. They're the exact same thing. And I said, no, they are not. Being in a ketotic state and being in ketosis is simply restricting carbohydrate levels until your body starts burning its own fat or utilizing its own fat through the process of lipolysis and making your own fuel, which is the ketotic process, or your liver creating ketones by breaking down fat. And she says, no, they're not. You're pushing some agenda. Uh, this is how I'm interpreting it, the way I'm reading it, because she was being really snooty and sarcastic. She said, no, you're pushing some agenda of yours, and that's not even right, really. So is Jimmy Moore then, and so is Ted Naiman, and so is all these other doctors and stuff that I don't care to mention anymore, because I've never really benefited from getting information from them. I've been doing this too long, so I haven't really learned too much from the doctors and stuff that come on scene, other than like Dr. Eric Westman, Ted Naiman, stuff like that. And what I basically explained to her is that you really don't know what you're talking about if you're saying just any ketogenic diet is the same thing as being in ketosis, because that's not true. Somebody can eat a completely crap ketogenic diet, and that's just a pattern of eating that they eat. But being in ketosis is simply different. They don't even mean the same thing. Being ketotic or in ketosis means that you're producing ketones, and following a ketogenic diet means you're following a specific path of eating a certain type of food in a certain type of way. There are two different things. And I find it amusing that people get so wound up and so hurt and bent out of shape when somebody is spitting the truth, and they still obviously are newer to it, or still clearly don't understand exactly what's going on, or what these terms and definitions and stuff mean. And oftentimes I'll just let it go, but there are some times where I speak up, and I try to at least make an effort to educate or fix things in a sense. I was watching a TED Talk video, and again it popped up in the comment section where a fairly popular keto person that some of us follow, which I will not drop names, did the same thing again. This lady was talking about how sugar and carbs are the problem. You don't necessarily need to follow a ketogenic diet. What you need to do is you need to eat whole foods. She was talking about how perimenopausal women and stuff like that really need to focus 5 to 6 years out of when you would be expecting that menopause life, what would you call it? Not life cycle, but life event that would happen. You would need to start focusing on really cleaning up your food, and just making sure that you're getting your carbs from whole food sources and not processed man-made stuff. And the lady was like literally just on point with everything that she was saying. I mean, she was talking about good healthy fats from avocados, animal products, eggs and stuff like that. Like, she was not even a keto person, and she was literally lighting up that room with just nothing but 100% truth bombs over and over and over again. And I was just like, wow, it's awesome to hear somebody that's not keto, and they're not somebody that I'm used to looking at, talk about how whole food fats, the carbs that come from the whole food sources, not man-made starches and rices and all this other stuff, but actually whole food sources that are like green, low glycemic vegetables and stuff like that. And I looked down in the comment section just to look at comments, and the top rated comment, somebody said something about the one thing that she did not mention is the fact that intermittent fasting is not that hard. And she heavily promotes intermittent fasting. She thinks it's a staple with any diet, that we should be focused more on intermittent fasting and time eating than we should be focused on eating multiple meals per day, shortening that window as much as possible. But when we do eat, we make sure we eat good. And I 100, if I could, 1,000%, 1,000,000% agree with that. It's more about timed eating, staying in a fasted state as long as you possibly can, keeping your electrolyte levels up and hydrating. And then when you do eat, make sure that you eat, and you eat good. You don't skimp, you don't calorie restrict. You make sure you feed yourself. no matter what diet it is, that's important as long as it's not crap junk that's man-made. And in the comment section, uh, they had specified that one thing that she forgot to say is intermittent fasting is very, very easy. It's not hard. If you look at your 6 to 8 hour sleeping window, most of your or half of your fast is already over with. By the time you get up, you get situated, and then by the time you get to work, if you could just grab some black coffee, some water, whatever it is, some green tea, and get to work and not focus on food, by the time you're even hungry again, naturally, your time clock starts around noon sometime. You've just fasted 16, 18, 20 hours without even realizing it because you were focused on other things in life other than food. Food was not even an important thing to you until your clock, your body started saying, okay, it's time to eat now. You can do everything else when you're done eating. Just feed me something heavy right now. Um, yeah, I mean, you're right. Refeeding, something like the Chinese buffet or something like that, it's very difficult. You can get by with doing it. I've known people that will do it. I've known people like, I got mad at Dr. Berg because I've been doing this just as long as Dr. Berg, if not longer. And some people say 13 years, 15 years. You know, I'm not the model for keto. I'm not the guy that makes the right decision every single day that doesn't have anything outside of keto. I make the wrong mistakes sometimes. So not even mistakes, they're just my choices in life. I make those choices. And I'm not the guy that people need to come to and say, "Oh yeah, that guy's obviously he's a principal keto guy." No, I'm just knowledgeable, and I like to speak the truth. And there's a lot of people that look up to people like Dr. Berg, and he made a video one time, and he said something about eat whatever you want in a 4 hour window, and he didn't specify in like italics or in parentheses or anything like that. Not for keto people; these are for people outside of keto. And there was a very, very small portion where I think he may have brushed across it. Um, but there was no emphasis on if you're already doing a ketogenic or carnivorous diet, don't do this. So a lot of people came to me and they were like, what's this guy doing? He's saying eat whatever you want in a 4 hour window. Well, essentially, he's correct. You can probably eat whatever you want in a 4 hour window and then fast the other 20 hours and clean your system completely out every single day. Is it a smart idea? Absolutely not, but it can be done. And I could see how fasting for 48 hours and then refeeding at the Chinese buffet would do a number on somebody. You're talking about insulin spike, glucose spike, your body's getting all kinds of way. You could have refeeding syndrome. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen with this. Um, you know, in the comment section of that video I was talking about with the lady that was talking about intermittent fasting and premenopausal health and stuff like that years before, there was somebody that we follow, and I like the person, and I'm trying my best not to let the name slip or whatever, because I'm not trying to cause any kind of controversy for anybody. Um, but there was something that they said that really struck me the wrong way. They said something along the lines of drink heaps of water all the time, and that will stop you from being hungry. I just talked to you guys about what that lady said on the group and what we've experienced for years now. That is not true. Making sure you're full of water before you eat all the time will cause more problems for you and health concerns than anything else will, if you're trying to stop yourself from like craving stuff. Pinching salt, just throwing some salt in your mouth, drinking a little bit of water with that salt will start to get them sodium levels up almost immediately. Taking the new salt container potassium chloride and dashing it in your water just a little bit, just enough to just give it a little tartness, but not enough to make it to where you can't drink it. Throwing a pinch of salt in there, you just quick stir. You don't even have to. You can just toss your mouth and drink some water with it. Not only are you hydrating a little bit, not a lot. You don't even have to, just maybe a quarter of a cup. You just get those electrolyte levels up. That will sate you. That will make you sated more than trying to drink heaps of water all the time, like this person said. And then I get to thinking about it, and I said, well, wait a second then. If you are always drinking water like this, and you're supposed to be some kind of professional that people look up to, which this is a terrible recommendation to begin with, because this goes against the grain with everything. Now you're diluting your stomach acid. Now you're not going to digest things as well. You're diluting your electrolyte levels. You're going to make your body have a bigger response to the little bit of the glycemic effect that would come from the food when they do eat. This is not a good idea at all. And somebody that is a professional that travels and gets paid to do this stuff to say something like that and use those types of words by drink heaps of water all the time, this will make you feel full. It's probably some of the most foolish words that I've seen anybody in the professional space when it comes to keto or carnivore say. And I actually responded to that comment and I said, you know what? This is a terrible recommendation. And you've probably done more damage than good by saying this because people really look up to you. And the reasons why are these reasons. And I explained that to them. And somebody messaged me privately on my Facebook and said, you know what? I'm glad you said something. I was going to say something, but I know they're a big popular person and I didn't want to get my head chewed off. Um, I speak about the popular people. I know what their agenda is. I know a lot of personal people that know them. I know a lot of them are doing it for money, but they come across as nice, innocent people. And a lot of them make terrible recommendations. Um, but people follow them because they're big names. They got pretty smiles and nice teeth. So, no, it wasn't Ken. Ken hasn't talked to me in a long time, and I'll never talk to Ken again. I think Dr. Berry is not a genuine person. I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys know how I feel about him. There's a lot of people that know him that I know that I've known longer than Ken has known, and I've just gotten too much information on Ken over the years. And I was doing this before Ken was. I'm one of the original ones that helped Ken start to get known on the different keto groups because I would share his videos so much. I don't want credit for anything, but it is what it is. Uh, I know a lot of people that know him, and I know a lot of dirt on people that talk about this stuff professionally. And it's part of the reason why I haven't grown as much as I've grown is because people know I know the truth, and I'll speak about it. And I don't care if people get upset in the process. There are too many sensitive people in this world, and they get comfortable with somebody, and they want to hear from this person all the time because they say the right words or make them feel that warm and fuzzy and stuff like that. But then when somebody comes along and says, "Hey, bro, I seen your girlfriend with doctors or with so and so this weekend. What were they doing together?" And then you're like, "Wait a second, what? Really? Oh, just get out of here. She would never do that to me. Oh, she would never do that to me. Get out of here. You're not my friend anymore." And then you throw away a really good friend that was being honest with you because you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that person would do that to you when really you were the one that was oblivious and didn't want to know if it was the truth or not. That's what I find a lot of people whenever I start talking about the truth and what goes on and why these people are after money and stuff like that. They're not after just sincerely really helping people. People always come up with the thing, well, let them make their money and their monetization off of it. They're helping thousands of people. Yeah, so am I. So is um, so is Sarah from Pearls of Wisdom. So is Keto Diamond, helping thousands of people and a lot of times putting out better information. Dave and Mom, these people are helping people by the thousands as well, and sometimes putting out better information. But because they don't have an MD in front of their name, they just never take off and get anywhere. And the people that are the bigger channels and stuff like that, they get all the recognition. You see, they're bought by, keto treats and keto cookies and keto cakes and keto everything else, and their discount codes for this and that, and go drink my protein and this all. Man, that stuff's a bunch of BS. And they get big because these companies help them become flashy. It is what it is. People don't like me when I talk about that stuff, but I don't care. Um, I just want people to eat whole food. I want people to heal. I want, as I make stupid mistakes or I learn things as I go or I learn information and news that's going on, I want to share that with people. I think that's important, that we should be doing that kind of stuff and not charging people tons of money. The other day I clicked on one of Dr. Berg's gallbladder formulas. You have got to be freaking kidding me. It was like $49.97 for a stupid bottle of gallbladder formula. When I looked at the ingredients that was on it, I could go find the same one on Amazon from another company for 22 bucks, 23 bucks. Because a name, a face is on that product, people will buy it. When Dr. Berg's electrolyte, potassium powder, and stuff like that, the lemonade, strawberry, raspberry stuff, or whatever came out, it was like $27. So I bought a container of it to try it. It was all right. It was pretty good. It did have a decent flavor to it, and you could stand it. You know, it's like 1,000 milligrams of potassium per serving, but it wasn't. It was okay. Let me just put it that way. And then 2 months later, I was out of it. I wanted to try some more, see if there was another flavor. There was no other flavor. And it said it was an updated formula or something like that. I seen $34. Wait a second. This is freaking ridiculous. It was just 27, now it's 34, and then it went up to 42, and then I seen it for 50 or something like that, 55. Wow. That hasn't even been out that long, couple years. And you mean to tell me that this is yeah, I'll check it out. Um, I interviewed with Mike, the he of Carnomad. He doesn't really follow my channel anymore, and I told him I follow his, and I'll go talk to Mike, and I'll leave him comments and stuff like that, just to be supportive because I really like Mike and his wife. But Mike quit following my channel because I think because I end some of my videos in God bless. Um, I'm a Christian and I'm a believer. I've been pulled out of some tough situations in my life, and I know it wasn't me alone. There had to be somebody helping me. So it's just what my heart tells me. And sometimes I would say God bless or have a blessed day. God bless, guys. And I think Mike, this was like over a year ago, Mike said something on one of my videos in the comment section that, like, hey, I really enjoy the information that you put out, but can you please not say this God bless or something like that, because it makes people uncomfortable. Some people are atheists, some people are this, some people. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop saying that this is my channel. I do this because I want to get my information out. I want to talk to people. I want people to learn from me and me learn from them. How could you ask somebody to stop living their life the way they want to live their life if they're not hurting anybody? So kind of from that point on, Mike has never commented on my channel again. And I know Mike and Sarah do a lot of videos together. Sarah and the Cowboy or something like that was what they'll title it. And I enjoy the videos. I enjoy Sarah. I enjoy Mike. I enjoy Marnia. Um, but I don't feel like uh, that support, even after what was said, is given back sometimes, because I still go say positive things and contribute and stuff. But because of the whole belief system of what I believe, uh, the support is not reciprocated. I'm a Christian, and that's just how it is. So if I want to end my videos with God bless or whatever it is, I've even said a prayer at the end of a video before because people have asked me to do that, and they like it. Um, I'll check it out. Sarah's a very, very good lady. I've known her for a little while now, and I like Sarah a lot. She helps a lot of people, and she's a coach. She didn't push a lot of products or anything like that. She just literally helps people through a good whole food based keto plan. She keeps up with them. She coaches them. She's a great lady. Um, I like her. I like Mike. Uh, I like a lot of people. I just feel like, just like Nona Grace said once, if you comment on my channel and you support me, I will support you and comment on your channel. If you don't comment on my channel, you don't subscribe to my channel, and you don't support me, chances are I'm probably not really going to support you either. It's just common knowledge, common sense, common friendship. You just do that for one another. That's just the right thing to do. And I would have never expected Nona to say that, but she did. This is why I follow you. I love what you said. Follow your heart, and I agree, guys. Always. Thank you for that. Yeah. I just I believe. I'm a believer. I mean, how could you go through the things that I went through and then think that you've done it on your own? There's no way. Some of the situations that I've been in, I shouldn't be sitting here right now telling you guys how good I'm doing. I mean, I should be in a homeless shelter somewhere with have lost everything. When the day you think that you're doing everything on your own, the day that you think that you've had complete control of everything from from day one, that it's been you, is the day you're going to lose everything, or you'll start to lose everything. You don't. There's more than just you that's helping you through life, and I don't care who you are. As many times as I've been in situations where I should have lost everything and still been able to pull through it, and then look back and say, how in the world did I do that? How did I get from living in my truck to not being able to eat and just barely getting by, to now living in a house, making really good money, and being able to pull myself out of the deepest depths of my misery and sorrow, where most people think about taking their own lives, with a wonderful girlfriend that completely supports me, that has an amazing job, and being able to share that with you guys, and having you guys to help me in the process. There's more than just you. There's got to be something more than just you. There's always a higher power doing something. um, I'm not perfect, and I'm not the perfect Christian. I almost thought about changing my name to, uh, what did I want to change it to? I'm just finding that keto in general is being bastardized so much by so many different companies, and nobody's speaking up about it. I'm like the only YouTube channel that's coming forward and saying, why are people allowing this? Why are people doing this? I'm on Facebook advocating all the time for good, clean, whole food keto, talking out about the companies that are bastardizing it, the companies that are coming forward and pushing their supplements and their products on everybody. People want me to stop. But there's a lot of people that agree with me, that support me, that want me to continue doing that, to shed some light on, we don't need this stuff. We don't need any of this junk. And that's what it comes down to. It's like it's like the standard American diet version, but now switched into keto. Everything's becoming, um, a processed keto version and thought of as acceptable now. And people are. I made a comment on Logan Sneed's channel. If you know Logan Sneed, fusionlean.com. Um, Logan, had, I think he had like brain cancer, some brain tumor, brain cancer, something like that. And the ketogenic diet helped him through that, and that he doesn't have it anymore. And he's wrote his own book, and he's recently kind of signed with a publisher and stuff like that. And he made a comment about, it was something about keto treats or something like that. I don't know what it was, or keto something. And my comment became the most popular comment on there, because I was just straight. I said, dude, I know you're a good dude. I know you're a great friend, but here's my problem. I don't care how big or how popular you are, or how much good advice you have to put out with people. Keto is becoming bastardized. Everybody's turning it into a dollar. Everybody wants to make a program, a list, buy this, buy that, a supplement, a treat, a cookie. You're retracting from the very healing power that it is. Pay to go to a seminar. Pay to go to a camp where they bring you in and they help show you how to cook foods and stuff like that, or whatever it may be. I thought about starting my own keto camp getaway, to where, next year maybe I could look for a piece of property somewhere that, 5-10 acres. Um, it's all right. You're not late. Um, and just offer people to come out for the weekend. Hey, let's just all get together and, cook food and show each other how we do this and that, and just have a big spot where everybody can pull their RVs or their campers, or, just something where everybody could just come meet up at the house and just throw a big old keto carnivore party or something like that, and just have a great time and make it something that we do every year, where there's no money involved, there's none of that junk. It's just a bunch of people coming together just having a good time. It's just, that's what it should be about. But a lot of these people, I looked at a couple YouTubers videos and stuff like that, and there's There's a guy that breaks down the incomes of YouTubers, and he shares it with other people. It's mathematically pretty accurate overall. And he looked at Dr. Berg as one of the bigger nutrition channels or whatever, and he said, you know, this guy's got so many million followers, he's got so many thousands of views per video, broke it down per month, broke it down per viewer, broke it down by what he has to sell. He puts out like a $7, $8, $9 book. So if we take 1% of his subscribers that are going to buy that book, and he's got millions of followers, plus hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of views on some of the videos. We take the average per month times monetization rate. We take the 40 or 50% or 60%, whatever it is that Google gets from the monetization, and we leave him with the 38-40% that's left over. He makes $363,000 per year off YouTube, plus that 1% of however many million at $8 a book. That's another $350,000 per year off that one book selling at 1% of his subscriber rating. That's not including the $500 ticket seminars. That's not including the supplements. That's not including, the other services that he has to offer through his nutritional coaching program of $900 per, certificate that you can get through his program. That's not including any of that. So we're talking easily almost $700,000 just from monetization and an $8 book that he sells from time to time. That's none of his $50 supplements. That's none of his seminars. That's none of his nutritional coaching programs. That's none of that. That's none of the companies or anything else that he's involved with. That's none of that. So we're talking potentially probably over $1 million easy every single year just from keto stuff. And a lot of the stuff is a repetitive remake of what he talked about 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. And people are stupid. They fall for it. When you bring up, psoriasis, or lately, one of the new things that he brought up recently was watermelon. He made a mistake a couple years ago, and he told people they could have hummus. And people went out and they started eating hummus and stuff like that. Well, they were eating so much of it, they were like, dude, what's going on? My inflammation's up. I'm not losing weight anymore. People were messaging me. I messaged him directly and said, look, that was not a bright idea for you to put out that video. Hummus is not something that's acceptable on a ketogenic diet, and it's very good and can be made different ways, but that is not a keto food, and you know that. And I don't know what happened to that video or if it ever got taken down, but it kind of got dropped for a while and people stopped talking about it. Well, recently he made another video telling people that they could have watermelon. Watermelon's acceptable on a ketogenic diet if you have so much because of the glycemic load and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you really just kind of do everything your own way. Your recommendations with protein and fat, the 7 to 10 cups of vegetables per day, the hummus, the watermelon, pushing all the supplements all the time and stuff like that. I mean, it just is ridiculous. So, people are like, oh, let him make his money. Don't say nothing. That's none of your business. Well, it kind of is my business. If I see something, I'm going to say something. That's just how it is. It's what it boils down to. I mean, what do? You just never say anything? No, I want people to know that you don't need to take supplements. You don't need to take Dr. Berg's gallbladder formula or ox bile formula or digestive enzymes or his super green formula. You don't need to think that you're doing keto wrong because you eat a little extra bacon or eggs every day, because that's what he says. Now all of a sudden, Thomas DeLauer, that's what he says. Now who do we got? The Fit to Fat to Fit guy, Drew Manning. That's what he says now. Click on my link to subscribe to my monthly or weekly channel so you can figure out how to do keto right, because you just might be eating too much bacon or eggs. Well, I got news for you, dude. I could eat bacon and eggs every single meal every single day and still be completely fine, even if I didn't lose weight. That's just how much I love bacon and eggs. So you're going to tell me I'm doing keto wrong now when these are the very people that put it in front of us that said it was acceptable? And now all of a sudden they're wrong, because they need people to subscribe to them. They need people to buy their coaching programs. They need people to buy their supplements. They need people to get their monthly subscriptions to this and that and everything else. So they're going to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. And then when you put on this face, this facade or whatever of, I'm going to get in front of a camera and tell you that, hey, look, I went from 215 pounds to 290 pounds in 7 or 6 months, and then I lost it all. You could do it too. You can do it just like me. Really? Do you know what 6 months of being overweight does to somebody? Like nothing. It falls back off. I've seen people do it, gain and lose weight purposely because of a football program or a fight coming up or something like that. But to say that, look what I did, and I lost it all within 6 months. You didn't have metabolic conditions. You didn't have extreme arthritis. You didn't have skin conditions that went along with being that overweight. You didn't live with this for years and years and years of your life to where it has destroyed yourself. Leptin resistance, insulin resistance, uh, hypo or hyperglycemic, whatever it may be. You didn't have to live with these conditions for long periods of times. You did it for 6 months and you lost the weight, for God's sake. It's not that hard to do it, especially if you come from being fit to fat and then back to fit. But people see this and they're like, oh, I'm going to go click on, I got to buy that $50 program. You do realize that it's very easy to do what he did. It's not hard at all. And then they put him on TV and talk shows and everything else. And then all of a sudden people were like, yeah, that guy knows what he's doing. He gained all this weight and then lost it all. No, he didn't have to live with any of those conditions that you had to live with. He lost it very quick because he didn't have time for that weight and those health conditions that he created in 6 months to sit and stir and create a festering effect of metabolic condition and everything else that goes along with it, that you did or that I did or somebody else did. People are gullible. They're oblivious. And there's nobody that talks about that kind of stuff. I find like I'm the only idiot that comes forward and says, look, guys, stop believing all this junk, man. Really. Stop believing it all. There's like the snake oil salesman from back in the 1600s, that spanned from the UK coming over to the United States, and people were believing it and buying this and that and potions and all this other stuff. And now here we are in 2019 and people are still doing the same damn thing. I mean, I just get sad, guys. I get sad that everybody wants to, they believe in this stuff. I need to change my name. I've been talking about changing my name because I'm somewhat embarrassed sometimes of calling myself part of the keto community, to be honest with you. Because it's just, people are just letting people get away with anything. They're just letting them get away with anything, and they don't speak up about it. They don't, leave messages on Thrive Oil and stuff like that and everything else. Hey, you guys really don't need this stuff, just to be honest with you. Just eat a little bit extra salmon 1 or 2 days a week, and you can get those extra omegas through real food rather than having to buy some $50 bottle of oil that's going to be gone in 2 weeks and then you're going to have to pay for it again. How about buy $50 worth of real salmon, wild caught salmon, where you're going to get the same omegas and stuff out of. Or if you like flax, add a little flax into your meal or something like that. Get some extra omegas through that, if that's the kind of thing that some people say you can't absorb omegas from flax properly because of absorption rate and how your body has to break it down, and by the time it breaks it down you've already processed it out anyway. So that's a whole nother theory as well. But there are other ways to do this, but people believe they need to have those supplements. They need to have all this stuff because Thomas or Drew or Dr. Barry or Berg or somebody's promoting it. It just, not Barry. Barry doesn't promote the supplements, but that's beside the point. It just makes me sad. It makes me not even want to have keto in my name at all. I was going to start calling myself something like what was I? The other day it was something kind of funny, kind of crazy. What the heck was it again? It meant like it meant imperfect, but it was a proper name, and I don't remember what it was. Like the irresponsible carnivore, or the incomplete or incoherent carnivore, or something like that, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm thinking about changing the name, but it's, because I'm more carnivore than I am keto, and I don't call myself. Um, yeah, I want to change something. Just the keto space in general is kind of embarrassing. It really is. There are some people I really like. Jimmy Moore. I know a lot of people don't like him, but the guy puts in work, man. He's putting out podcasts, and he's putting out books and cookbooks, and Maria Emmerich. These are the people that I admire, because they're not out here really trying to get people's money and stuff like that based on supplements and things of that nature, which I'm sure they got their hands in a little bit. But these people are putting out work. I mean, they're showing pictures in the studio. I mean, look at Maria. Um, Angie Angie will eat what I eat. So if it's keto, she's right there. She's eating it too. She doesn't expect me to change what I cook or make to suit her needs. She does eat some things outside of it during the week, but I can say overall, since I've started talking about nutrition and stuff like that, um, which I think the first few dates I kind of got the hint right away. I was talking about it way too much, and then I kind of was like, "You probably need to shut up about this stuff," because she doesn't want to hear about keto. And I kind of backed off a little bit, and I'll insert some things from time to time, and I'll talk to her about some things. And then finally, the other day, she was like, before she left, she's in Pennsylvania right now, volunteering at an autism event. She does it every year, where she goes and volunteers her time at the autism event, regardless if they got a flight in New York or California. This year, it was being held in Pennsylvania, so her and her family got together and they flew out to Pennsylvania so they could volunteer at the autism event. She took off days for work and everything. She's a really, really good person. Um, the other day we were sitting down eating dinner, and she said, I would really like to do something along the keto lines. I'll give it a shot. Um, but I want you to come out like one Saturday or Sunday and just make all the food with me, because if I have to do it myself, I'm not going to do it. But if you help me and we can pre-prep for days out, she said, I'll do it, no problem. But I need help doing it. So I think she wants to give it a shot. I think I think she really does want to give it a good go and see how it works for her. And I'm excited for her to come back from the autism event, and then maybe next weekend, me and her get together and sit down and create a meal plan for her, and I'll be her own personal coach. And anything that she will have questions on, I'll be able to answer 100%. I thought about maybe adopting like maybe 5 people, and just making an impact differently. We can put up all the videos we want to share information and knowledge and stuff with people, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that still don't know how to do keto. They need somebody to show them, and there's not enough people out there to actually buddy up with them and show them. So I thought, how about every month I take a little bit of a break from YouTube and Facebook, and I focus on adopting 5 people every month, and I will be their free keto coach every single month to work them through any problem that they have until the end of that month, until the end of that 30 days. I give back to the community like it has given to me. And I take 5 people and just meal plans, questions, focus on them just like I'm the big brother for their keto program. Anything that they have to answer, I'm there available for them whenever they need me. And just give back, give back, give back, give back. And next month it's 5 other people. Next month it's 5 other people. And then if I could get enough people that would join me to see the success of this, um, then we could create a keto buddy program where there's just everybody helping everybody. And there's no more need for spending hours on YouTube watching videos and stuff like that when you're getting direct access to somebody that's already learned it and is successful with it. Then you don't have to worry about going on a keto Facebook group that's got thousands of people where people are trying to chew each other up and spit each other out like they're chopped liver, where you can just go, hey, I had a question, I'm going out this weekend and we're going to, Texas Roadhouse. Um, do they, can you help me find out if they got any kind of bad seasonings on the steaks or whatever? Help me figure out how to order this, or you know, I'm having 20 grams of carbs. I want to see if I can have like add maybe a 10 more during the day. Can you help me figure out where I could get those 10 from to see if it affects me? Well, sure. I'm your buddy coach. Let's do this. Maybe you can add a couple extra Brussels sprouts in, or maybe like a quarter cup of berries or something like that if you're craving something sweet or just something out of the ordinary. Let's figure out how it affects you over the next week or the next few days, and just keep me updated on that. And then maybe we could switch it around if it's not working for you, or you're extra hungry the morning when you get up because you're not having enough fat before you go to bed. It's not tying you over. So let's work on that dinner time meal being a little bit fattier, and then maybe your lunchtime meal can be lighter but have a higher protein base, so you can really start to increase that fat at dinner and then bring down the protein level a little bit, and it'll actually carry you over into the next day a little bit longer, whatever it may be. I tell a story about I call her my sister now. I love her to death. When I first started the online stuff, Keto Camellia Trap, she's a type 2 diabetic. And she came to me and she said, look, I've been doing keto forever and I've been following doctor this and that, nutritionist this and that, and I just can't get it right. I don't know what's going on. I want to lose more weight, but I said, you know what? Let me make an example out of you. I'm going to create a meal plan for you. And I created a 7-day meal plan for her. It took me about 45 minutes to do it. And on the computer, I logged all her stuff. And then I said, obviously, we don't want to eat the same thing every day because you're going to get bored with it. But we can eat the same foods every day. We can just switch them around. So instead of your shrimp, avocado, spinach salad with a little olive oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper, pretty hearty big salad for lunch, let's go ahead and pull that shrimp out of it. And then maybe we can throw in some extra chunks of pork or steak or something like that. And we'll go ahead and bring the avocado back and we'll add some berries into it. And we'll make it like a berry, like really light. If we could do like a taco dressing or something like that, homemade, and I would flip things around with her. And, switch a protein source from your lunch today to what your dinner is going to be tomorrow, and then your protein source for your dinner tomorrow to your lunch today. Maybe not get so much of your avocado fat and start substituting a little bit more olive oil and vinegar to get a more hearty, like aggressive, like bite, like an Italian dressing style. Chop up some eggs and a little bit of onion or something like that, just enough to give you some flavor that's not really going to affect your blood sugar too much. And let's have some fun with this. And then for dinner, we did a basted chicken with jalapenos under the skin with some dabs of butter and stuff like that, lightly salted, and then baked in the oven. And that jalapeno just kind of like melted down into the meat with that butter in the chicken, because I had her pack it under the skin, a couple slices. And she said, Rich, this is like some of the best food that I've had so far. I never thought to do this. And I said, it's pretty simple. You just have to have somebody help you. You just have to have that extra person there, that friend there, that buddy there that can say, you know what, you got this. You can do this. You're getting overwhelmed with thinking through this. Let me do a little thinking for you. Let me take some of that stress off of you, and take your Thursday meal, and let's see if we can make like a shredded, like a cheese pizza or like a keto pizza, a shredded barbecue pizza for that night, and only have 1 or 2 pieces. And we'll break down your macros and stuff to make sure you're getting enough fat and enough protein before you go to bed, and make Thursday your meal where you have your little bit of fun. Over the first 2.5 weeks, she lost an additional 14 pounds. Came right off of her. Because she just needed somebody. She needed somebody to help her wrap her mind around it. So you could be the most professional person in the world and put out the best edited videos and everything else and still not reach that person. Sometimes they just need somebody. They need a buddy to be there, to talk to them, to maybe just make that light bulb go off sometimes when it's not going off, and say, I'm just getting stressed out over the food and stuff like that, and I'm overcomplicating this, and I'm making poor decisions when I just need to regroup, tighten up, adjust, and get that shot group right back in the center again, and I'm back at it. She's kept the weight off ever since. It's just a matter of, thank you. It's just a matter of just having somebody say, wait, you don't have to quit. It can work. You just got to readjust a little bit. That's all. Add in a little bit of extra egg. And the egg is like one of the most balanced macronutrient foods on a ketogenic or carnivorous diet you can have. I had a new girl that messaged me the other night, and she said, I really want to learn from you. Out of all the people, you just seem to be the most honest. I said, it's because I don't care if I hurt people's feelings or not. I mean, I care, but I want people to know the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You don't need to take a bunch of supplements working with me or anything like that. I'm not going to charge you money. I'm just going to help you for free. And she said, well, I've never had anybody just offer me help for free. I said, I'm your buddy. I'm your keto buddy. So basically, jump in my group, ask any question you want. Nobody's going to tear you up. I'm not even promoting my group. I just want you to get help. I just want you to get information. She loves it. She's been doing keto now for a couple weeks, I think, and she's been completely fine. You're getting results, and it's just a matter of being a buddy and an information source to somebody that just doesn't have the confidence to do it on their own sometimes. I have a lot of people that, they've been following me for months and they're still asking questions like, I still don't know what to eat, or still don't feel comfortable doing it on my own. Well, wait a second. Let me put a post up tomorrow. Who needs a keto buddy? I'll put it up on the group, and there's all kinds of people that start responding, and I'll see a couple people in there that really know what's going on and say, hey, you know what, Tammy, why don't you jump in there with Sarah and be her keto buddy, and you guys help each other. At the end of the week, maybe you could check back in with me and let me know, do you need help with anything? Do you need help figuring anything out? Maybe I can be like the kind of mentor, the mediator at the end of the week. Are you getting the progress that you need, the help that you need? Oh, you're not? So what in the buddy system is failing? And then, she could either respond with, I'm busy a lot. I don't have time to answer questions right away. Okay, so if you do need that more immediate help, maybe we could go back to the group and say, who's a stay-at-home mom? Who's a stay-at-home dad? Who owns their own business and can respond faster? We really need somebody to help with a little bit extra help. And somebody's just, they want, hey, Charlie pops up and says, hey, I work from my office at home. I could help anytime, and I've been doing this for a couple years now. So who needs help? And then, hey, Sarah, there you go. There's Charlie. Charlie's available anytime or whatever. You can help them. Maybe at the end of the week, you get Saturday, we could check in sometime, see how things are going. See if you guys need any help with anything. At the end of the week, I go check back in and say, hey, how's it going, guys? Oh, great. I've lost 2.5 pounds this week. I really feel like Charlie helped me get it out. My electrolytes were low. I wasn't having enough fat. I felt hungry. Now I'm great. My sleep is better, and I feel like I've got more energy during the day. Awesome. Great deal. And then move on. And people, it's like a domino effect. People learn how to help each other. They just keep going with it. My admin message me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes if they want to, and I'm right there to answer the question. I know that's not the way everybody can be, but that's how I am. My phone goes off, I look at it, I might think, oh man, I really want to go to sleep right now. But I'm like, you know what? This person needs my help. You know what? What you should do is don't drink so much water tomorrow and force yourself. Add more salt, add more potassium. Maybe you can do a couple extra eggs at dinner time. And I message the person, hey, that's a great idea. I'll try that tomorrow. The next day, check in with them. Hey, how did that go? Did those extra couple eggs or whatever help tie you over longer? Well, yeah, that was great. It worked out wonderful. I actually made a little egg salad out of it and stuff. Phenomenal. Now you've just taken somebody that was worried about what they were doing to helping them out, and now they're using their brain and they're stepping it out even further, trying to make fun out of it. So there's a number of ways you impact people. You don't need to sell them products and plans and everything else when you can't. Just be a keto buddy. Be a carnivore buddy. Just help somebody. That's it. It's just, I don't know, guys. I just want to help people. Angie told me not to cut this off, so I keep looking at how fluffy it is, and she told me leave it alone. Just keep it trimmed up and leave it alone. So I said, okay, you're the boss. I won't touch it. Anyhow, I want to go in here and eat. If you guys have any questions, if you want to start up this keto buddy program. Maybe we can make our own little keto buddy group where everybody, that's the principle of the group, is only keto buddies, asking questions and just keto buddies. No videos, no sharing, no sponsoring, no selling. Just, this is a keto buddy group. You come to this group to get a keto buddy to help you, and if you don't feel like it's a good fit, you come back to the group and we readjust and we get back to the basics and we find another keto buddy. And that's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to help. If you guys got any questions, let me know. I've been on here for an hour, and then we'll do that, Charlotte. Then we will do that. I'm gonna call it. We gotta call it something different though, because there might even be somebody that's already got the keto buddy group. What would we call it? Uh, Craig, you. I think the snake diet guy makes an impact. I think people like either nice and kind or really freaking mean. A lot of the in between stuff people don't really respond to. The snake diet guy is like your ultimate drill sergeant for fasting. He does not care what you feel. I think he's got a lot of like male chauvinist pig to him kind of deal. Like, you are woman, I am man. You will do what I say. I am stronger than you. I am smarter than you. I can do more in life than you. You cannot do that as much as me. And I find that there are a lot of women that respond very well to him and that support him. He actually made like a 50-minute video or an hour-long video talking about how whorish women are and how they just whore themselves out to anybody, and how they're disgusting pigs and they have low self-esteem. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell? How could you even get away with saying this to all these people on social media? And overnight he gained like 3,000 subscribers. I kid you not. And within a week he had like 15,000 extra people following him, just because he does not care. He's going to tell you the exact truth, the way it is in his head. He wants people to be on fasting focused programs. I think he's a lunatic, but he's successful. I think he has an audience that can learn from him. I think he has an audience that he helps thousands and thousands of. He should be a lot bigger than what he is. He should be at his rate and how crazy he is, the way he presents himself. He should be bigger than Dr. Burke. Just for the simple fact that his way of doing it is the only 100% guaranteed way that you are going to get results. You're going to die trying, or you're going to get results, one or the other. So I don't care for him, but I can't say that he doesn't get the results that people want. You follow him and you do what he says, you're going to get results. Is he smart when it comes to nutrition and stuff? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think he says a lot of stuff that's rehearsed, that he looks up before the video just to make sure he has talking points. I find I've called him out on a lot of stuff, and he's never even had the nerve to respond. I found out back in the beginning when he first started, somebody added me to his snake diet group on YouTube. I've been doing this longer than him. We're about the same age. I think we are the same age. And somebody added me to his group on Facebook when you could add somebody back in the day before they changed all that. And I seen him making some recommendations, and I was like, wait a second. Pull it back a little bit. Hit the brakes, because no. You're just talking right now. This is what you're saying is not even accurate. Well, one of his admin popped up and said, you know what? This is his group. It's his recommendations. It's his way. Even if what you said is 100% correct, it's still his group. It's his way, and that's how it's going to get done. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So it didn't matter if he was wrong or right. the fact of the matter is, people want results. And if you follow him and you do what he says, you're going to get results. Some of the stuff he does is stupid and it's outlandish. Makes no sense to me. Refeeding on raw meat, that's absolutely stupid. Um, Drinking your own piss to recycle your electrolytes, absolutely atrocious, stupid. Makes no sense. I would never do that. The concoction that he came up with, his electrolyte mixture and stuff, it's partially his, but the majority of that has been out for years. He didn't actually create that. That has been out. People have been fasting on potassium and sodium for years and years and years, long before him. He just tweaked it a little bit and said, okay, it's the snake diet stuff. So I think if you follow him and you do what he says, and you just kind of like take what he says with a grain of salt, you'll get results. I mean, if you fast in general, you're going to get results. It's not hard to do it. I mean, it's not hard to say, I recommended you start fasting. You lost a bunch of weight because of my recommendation. I'm the smart one. Yeah, that's not it. But he is motivational to a lot of people. He does put out good information. He just annoys the hell out of me. I don't really care for him too much, but I can't say too much bad about him because the people that follow him really get a lot of good results from him. So, regardless of what I have to say, the guy's got it. I mean, it is what it is. Game recognized game. He knows how to get through to people, and that's what he does. I mean, it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna smash some steak, some sausage, some sausage, some shrimp, and I'm gonna have a good time. You too. Thank you. And if you guys are interested in that keto buddy group, let's create it together. Let's do like my subscriber base here and a Facebook keto buddy group, and it will be just us, the people that respond to this video or the people that are part of your friends. It will be us, and then we can add more people, add more people, add more people, and we become more successful and more successful and help a lot of people the free way without having to push supplements and everything else and watch an hour and 22-minute videos to figure out about the keto buddy group. So just let me know what you think. All right, I'm gonna start my night now. Thank you. Be blessed, guys. God bless.